Welcome to Woody's Roundup podcast, where we talk about all things Disney. And I'm Laura Watts, your host, and I'm here with Woody Watts, the man with the plan all the time.
Your favorite deputy.
Yes, sir. Hey, howdy ho, or what does he say?
And yes, my name is actually Woody, W-O-O-D-Y. I was Woody before it became cool.
Yep.
So back in the day, thank goodness for Toy Story, though.
Yeah.
It came out because before it was always Woody Woodpecker. Woody Woodpecker. Then when Toy Story came out, it was wonderful for me in high school.
So welcome to our podcast. We are so glad you're joining us. Today's episode, we are going to talk about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And the year is 2019, and we just got back from our Disney vacation. And we have a lot to say about the party. I think I'm going to ask you a couple things just to kind of get your view on it, and then we can discuss.
Yes.
So what is the Halloween party?
Okay, Mickey's Not So Scary. It's a special event where you have to buy your very own ticket for it. Okay, and the
separate from the
separate
park ticket.
from park tickets. It starts in, I believe, it started in August this year, and it just ended, and it's a couple of days a week, and it's a special event that officially starts at 7 and ends at midnight. But I believe you can actually come to the park starting at 4 o'clock if you've bought this ticket, which cost $100. Well, for us, we bought an adult. It was $115 per ticket for this, and it's just a Halloween event. There's great decorations. There's a fantastic fireworks show that we'll talk about. Special entertainment on stage at the castle. A special show. And you get candy. Get candy everywhere. They have these candy lines where you trick or treat and you get this bag and you literally leave with as much candy as you want. So it's a fun event.
Yeah, and it regularly takes place at the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
And it's been at the Magic Kingdom ever since it started.
No, I don't know. I don't know when it started. I think it started in the 80s.
Okay.
I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I know when we went, our very first one was eight years ago. So,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the event. It's fun. It's a special Halloween event.
So give me reasons why you, and you know, even though we're married, Woody, I'll be honest, Woody pushes the park. He pushes the Disney vacation every year, and I'm, of course, all in, but we go at this time of year. We wanted to go at this time of year because of the Not So Scary party.
Yes, so we centered our vacation this year around that. First of all, our anniversary is Halloween. So we wanted to go, have our trip based off of that over the holiday. And then we picked this day because, one, the day for Halloween was sold out. That particular ticket, and I loved the first time we went for this, and it really set the precedent because you get basically a park ticket, for a discount. Plus, it's a cool event. It's at night. You very rarely get to ride the rides, after dark, because usually the Magic Kingdom closes at 6 on normal days. And yeah, I was all about this special ticket event, and that's why we went this week of October, is because of this event, and based off the crowd sizes. It was it was showing that it was a pretty moderate crowd size.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about 2011 Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah. Okay. So our first, there was a whole story behind our first Mickey's Not So Scary. Okay, so that was our honeymoon, for one. My first time ever going to Disney World.
Yep.
I was 30 years old. Never been. Always wanted to go, but so it was a lot more based on that trip. It was our honeymoon, my first trip to Disney. I'd never seen anything like it. And then we were going on this party on our anniversary, and we dressed up. We had costumes. So back in 2011, when we bought the ticket, I think, I can't remember the price, but it was much cheaper. I want to say it was like $79 a person or something around. I might be wrong.
It was under $100.
It was under $100. So we went to another park during the day. We went home, went to the resort, changed, and then used this opportunity to see the Magic Kingdom my first time when we came here. 2011, it was a wonderful experience. It wasn't crowded whatsoever. So when we got there, it was just like you went right into the park. There was no lines. This was before Magic Bands too. So you didn't have that. You had an actual hard ticket. You get this band you wear with candy corn on it. And it was just great. The crowds were super light. After 6 o'clock when the park closes, you could just see the whole park just kind of empty out. And then there was a ton of candy lines. Like they had it every corner. So when I say a candy line, they had inflatables lit, like pumpkin inflatables. And you could look in any direction and see an inflatable. And you would literally take your bag. There's no waiting. Go right through the line, and they would basically shovel candy in that bag. And so you would go and we just bounced around, and then like I know we rode the Haunted Mansion 4 times. Like we would ride it, get off, go get some candy, come back, and there was no wait. It was just the crowds were so light, and it was like just a wonderful experience. And then the fireworks show was fantastic. And then I remember like we had perfect viewing for everything. It was almost like we had the park to ourselves, but like with a tenth less people, a tenth of the normal crowd there. It was just great back in 2011. That was our first one. And then so I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting the same thing this year, when we came back. And we wanted to do it again because we didn't do it after that when we went to Disney. We hadn't done it in several years. So yeah, it was a much different experience this time though.
Mm-hmm. So I guess my take on this year's Mickey's Not So Scary was we were kind of all sort of funneled into the right side of the park, like right past the theater as you walk in, right there in the courtyard. We were kind of all funneled in, and it almost was like the start of a marathon or the start of a race. It felt so crowded, and it was almost like waiting for the gun to go off. It felt like, okay, this is different. This is new.
It seemed like staff were like it had tripled.
Yes.
Because like before, they had signs, but this time there was a literal line of staff directing you to the right side of the park.
It was a actual human wall.
Yeah, it was much more than before.
And we got our bags, which were, I would say, twice as small as the first year we went. So in comparison, this felt like a small gift bag. In 2011, it felt like a reusable shopping bag that you would get, at a grocery store or something like that. So not that was a problem, but it also was kind of strange to turn around and you would see a family with their small bags, but then they had more bags available. So you could get your one bag filled up and then they were like, oh, here's another bag. And it almost felt like you were just carrying so much more.
And some people I noticed they had their reusable shopping bag. They would fill their small one, dump that one into the reusable one, and then keep using the small one.
Right. And didn't seem like the bags were as good a quality this year as they were in 2011. It felt like we could keep that bag. Whereas this one was more of, a plastic kind of toss away thing, which is fine. I think Disney's, very eco-friendly, and I think maybe this one was just a better value for them. But I did appreciate the fact that when we went in 2011, they did not have what they had this year, which I so appreciate, which was the allergy-friendly option. So I just tried it because we had been to Disney Not So Scary before, we had a mountain of candy. And I mean a mountain.
I mean, it was a ton.
I remember
Like-
getting back to the room in 2011 and we dumped out our candy bags and it almost covered the bed.
I mean, it was an insane amount of. I'm like you go through Walmart and you get the big sack of like, chocolate.
was 3 of them.
Oh my, yeah. It was an unbelievable, inhuman amount of candy that we got the first time.
Yeah. This time around, I said, you know what? You take care of the regular, normal, go for candy. I will do the allergy bag. Just wanted to try it out. Loved it. Instead of candy, they gave tokens. So even though as a adult, I felt like I'm still getting something at every candy station, you didn't have to tell the cast member what allergy you had. You just had a teal bag that was different than the black, white, and orange one. And so anytime I would sort of lift my bag or trick or treat, they would notice it, immediately give me a ticket.
They were on it.
They were so good.
Yeah, they were good. They really paid attention
praise
to that.
So then at the end of the night, after we had, watched the amazing fireworks, amazing, the Hocus Pocus, I think it was spooktacular, fantastic. Couldn't complain one bit except for the crowds. And so we're going to talk about that in a second. But as far as the allergy friendly candy bag, when we went to leave, I just went right into the theater and there were signs directing allergy friendly pick up here. You could go in. The cast member asked, "Hey, what allergy do you have?" You handed them the tokens. They immediately turned around, grabbed the bag, handed it back to me completely full.
I don't think you could have. I don't think they could have done it any better.
They didn't.
I mean, that was one of those things where it was like if we had a kid with an allergy, it was like it was really a godsend.
It
was wonderful. They were attentive, and even one cast member in one of the lines, he saw that you had a bag. And he told the other cast member, "I'll get it. I haven't touched."
Right, he switched his hand.
Yeah. And it was like, "Oh, that is so sweet."
I know, it was so
fantastic.
great.
It was fantastic.
Their attention to that was so good. And when I was waiting in line, which I was only, I think, 3 or 4 people in line to redeem their allergy-friendly bag or to change, I guess, exchange, the woman in front of me had a dairy allergy. And the cast member goes over, grabs a bag that definitely was the dairy section and handed it to her. And then her, I guess it was her husband or her partner, whatever. He said, I'm a vegan. And they handed him a bag that said vegan friendly. I just sort of threw out their gluten thinking, let's see how this goes. And in the bag were things like organic, just gluten-friendly items,
cookies,
gummies,
like a Reese cup alternative, gummy worms, everything. Honestly, it was a good range. It was good. It was good candy.
It was
like,
great.
I mean, it was good. Like,
it was
nothing
high quality, delicious items. And I don't have a gluten allergy, but I just wanted to see. And I was like, you know what, Disney, I'm going to see how you do. And bravo, they did a great job. Absolutely great job.
Now, and now that was not an option when we went back in 2011.
No, it was not.
However, it is worth noting that the night we went, there were 4 Hocus Pocus shows where the sisters come out. They introduce,
right.
The one we had stood in line for and in the front of the castle actually, due to some technical difficulty, didn't actually happen.
Right.
So that one we didn't get to see. We had to watch the later one. But it was kind of interesting because the show started and we had waited, 30 minutes. For a good spot because we're going to get to the crowds. And then all of a sudden the sisters are doing their part and we're in it. Like we're in the zone. Like we were like, this is great. And then all of a sudden the sisters go off stage and then the voice comes over due to a technical difficulty. Yeah, we will have to. And it was like, oh, and, it was like the first time like I was like, oh man, I was actually into the, not that I'm not into the shows, but it was just like, dang, I really wanted to see that. But then, but if you caught another version of the show, which they're all the same, it's wonderful. Yeah. I mean, what you expect.
Not disappointed.
No.
So those are some of the likes, and I will definitely say those ladies who play the Sanderson sisters are incredible. It doesn't get any better than them. When we went in 2011, it was more led by the villains.
Yes.
And Dr. Facilier came out and he nailed it. And then you got Maleficent and the Evil Queen, and then Jafar would come out, and it was cool. It was
good.
They did the villain sort of take Cruella. It was great. And then you knew after that those villains would disperse and they would go out into the parks, and you could go and you could get pictures with them, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I totally think the show this year tops that by far. Could not have said it better when you said, when you're in it and you're watching these girls and you're up there, surrounded by hundreds of people, you forget that you're packed. You forget that it's hot. You forget that you're tired. You forget that your feet are about to fall off. You are in it. That means I love this and I'm happy, and I feel like I'm 7 years old watching this for the first time.
Now, and another, that was the show, but then they ended the night. They didn't end the night. It was like at 10:15, I believe, was the fireworks show. Mm-hmm. And that was unreal, because this year they had, I don't know how many years they've done it, but the projection mapping on the castle was next level. Like, it had a story. It had Mickey, Goofy, Minnie, Donald in a story, and they had, it was just unbelievable. It's like it was a whole story. Then the fireworks accented, added to the show. Mm-hmm. Like they added more to it. But
right.
But the fireworks were amazing. That was just probably the best one at Disney that we've seen.
Yep.
Ever. Yeah.
And I think even the addition of Jack Skellington, which you hadn't seen him.
And he was done in a different way.
Yeah, like he was a puppet.
Yeah,
almost.
like they had people behind him with and they used his arms, and he was
wonderful.
Like
at least 8 foot tall.
Yeah.
And he was fantastic. And that show, which is Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular, is that fireworks show. And the fireworks accompanied the music. The fireworks were colored along with the projections. It felt like something that I'd never seen before. And of course it wasn't anything I'd seen before.
And one of my favorite parts of it, spoiler alert, was each section, like they had like a little blip of a villain. And then they did the castle like that villain. So when Oogie Boogie came out, it was green, and then the Queen of Hearts, it was red, and then so they had their face pop up, and then the castle kind of took on that villain.
Yes.
And then it was just one. You can't say enough good things.
No.
It was
YouTube
wonderful.
it. Watch it, because it's over now.
The only
November
you missed
3rd,
it. You missed it. Now can I go into the other part?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you can't talk about the likes without the dislikes. All right. So let's go there.
Dislikes. All right. Dislikes. All right. So the dislikes are not really dislikes. They are observations that I didn't particularly care for. Mm-hmm. Okay. During the fireworks show, we knew something was different from the 2011 show when we started getting our spot, and then it didn't stop. So we were there. A parade, the Boo to You parade had just happened, which is wonderful. Mm-hmm. And again, we didn't talk about that, but it's great. And then people kept coming and coming, and then it was a sea of people, and we had never been to Disney when it was that many people. And I'm talking, it was like 10:15 at night. Mm-hmm. And we were shoulder to shoulder, could not move. We were trapped in our spot for the fireworks show. And then it was at that point I looked behind, and I couldn't see an open spot anywhere. And it didn't freak me out a lot, but it was all of a sudden like, oh wow, I'm not used to this. Mm-hmm. This is, I've never been to an event at Disney and been this crowded. And then that was leading up into that, it was crowded because we tried to go to Casey's and get a hot dog or something, and the line was it was unreal coming out of that. And we kind of knew then, man, this is really a lot more crowded. But then the fireworks show, I thought after the fireworks show people would leave. That didn't happen.
No.
That park stayed packed for the rest of the night. And that was a first. Yeah. Because in 2011, like literally after the fireworks show, it was a ghost town. And this in 2011, We actually, that was, they did a soft opening for the new Fantasyland.
Secret soft.
Secret. They didn't tell anybody. It was so, like, we ended up walking down to where the circus is, the Winnie the Pooh ride right there. And then all of a sudden, the cast member was standing there with a light, and people started walking down this new area. And so we got to ride, one of the first ones to ride Ariel's Grotto, right?
Yep.
We got a sneak peek of Be Our Guest restaurant.
Yep.
And that, like, we got to ride Ariel's Grotto, like, we went 2 or 3 times without getting off the thing.
Yeah, we didn't have to get off, yeah.
And it was like no one there. So then this, fast forward 2019, after the fireworks show, it stayed that packed.
Yep.
And every ride still had a 35 to 45 minute wait, longer than what it was during the day.
Right.
And it just, I don't want to say it killed the experience for me, but when we had to wait, this year we had to wait in line for candy. Okay, and I know that sounds so ridiculous. Oh,
no, there's always a line, but it's
Yes.
a moving line. We were in a queue. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like we're waiting 20 minutes, upwards to 20
Yeah,
minutes.
like you're getting on a ride. Like it was like
Yeah.
that. And I know it sounds funny, 2 adults standing in line, trick-or-treating candy. Yeah, I get it. However, in 2011 when we went, you don't understand. Like, it's not about the candy, but it is. It's just about the experience of having the park kind of to yourself with less people. Like, we really didn't have a chance to enjoy the Halloween aspects of the party because there were so many people.
So many people.
And I feel like they raised the attendance cap way too much. Like, that was my main complaint, was that, man, it was better off coming during the day. Like, you didn't even really get a chance to experience anything different. And I understand this year they had like upcharges in the upcharges. Like, they had like a dessert party you could, of course, pay extra for, but we didn't do that because it was $244 for us to do the party by itself. And
Right.
so it was just really just shocking, the amount of people. And I'm sure the people that go for Christmas and other will say, oh, that's nothing. But for us, when we try to go once a year, we hadn't been for a while, but it was just like, oh, wow, this is a completely different experience. And while we raved about it in 2011, like, I mean, we would not shut up about it. We would tell everybody. Like, this year, like, I don't know that I would recommend people going. Like, I can't imagine. And our event was not sold out when we bought the tickets. Halloween was sold out. A couple of, I cannot imagine if it had been sold out.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think for me personally, when we went in 2011, I was ready to go back in 2012. I was ready to go back in 2013, and we did. We booked trips, back to back to back, but we didn't do the Halloween party. We were going to do Very Merry. We were going to do other things.
No, we did the Halloween party one more time.
Right.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was an equal.
That's when we got on the mine train.
Yes.
New Fantasyland had just completely opened, and we walked on to the mine train.
The mine train walked on.
And I remember specifically when you knew the party time was coming, it was like you could breathe because the park emptied out. This time, it felt more like the park was filling up for the party instead of the other way around.
Yeah, it was, because the second time we went, like Laura said, we walked onto the mine train, had just opened, and then we caught it at the perfect time. It was during the fireworks show, because we had seen the fireworks show the previous year and was like, it was beautiful, but we wanted to ride the mine train.
Right, we weren't prepared to stand in the square again.
Yeah, we were good. Like,
we were going to just ride rides.
Yeah. And then so we were on the mine train when the fireworks went off, and it was a magical moment. It was a truly, like, we caught it at the right time. We hit the high peak, fireworks went off, and it was just magical. It was wonderful. And I think that's what we hung on to for the next several years, that we didn't go to the party. We went to Disney, we didn't go to the party. And then this year was just like, oh, wow. Either I'm getting old and grumpier or something's different. Like, and the crowd was just insane to me.
Yeah, no, it was. And I think that was why we won't be going back in 2020. We have booked our vacation for 2020, but it's not. I'm gonna skip the Halloween
parties for a while.
Yeah.
Just because if I want, it's not about the candy. Like if I want candy, I can go to any supermarket and buy a bag of candy
Sure.
for $4.
Yep.
Okay. It was just about the experience. And I feel like Disney had a magical experience with the Not So Scary. And then because of the crowd, it lost some of that for me.
Yeah.
And I know that we may not be the target demographic here. You may want kids trick or treating, and I get it. But for those of us that bought the tickets before and had just, it made the trip. It was just the most wonderful thing. And for it to be so crowded now where you can't really even enjoy the fireworks show or the candy. And then the lines, it's not even worth riding a ride now at the party.
No.
We rode one. Yeah, we rode the Haunted Mansion. And there was a 35-minute wait on that.
Right.
And we thought, well, appropriate. Let's ride the Haunted Man. Plus, they had that really funny lady
Yes.
out front that she
Yes.
was telling jokes, and that was awesome. That was worth standing in line just listening to her. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I just don't know that I would recommend it as highly as I did back in 2011 and 2012. I think we went 2013.
Yep.
I don't think that I would recommend it as highly as I used to. So, but it was good. I mean, it was good. The decorations are good, but yeah.
Oh yeah, the details and the little surprises that you get at certain rides, like, the Haunted Mansion giving you sort of that live action experience. You have some of the other rides that offer just those little Halloween surprises that you wouldn't necessarily see. Like, I even loved how they changed out the fall decorations for these really cool, scary, spooky pumpkins right outside the castle. They were great. I mean, they actually looked like carved pumpkins, and they put a beautiful little bulb in it that looked like a little flame. I mean, it was just those little touches we loved. Parade was great, but again,
and then the popcorn, the ghost.
Yes, so they switched out some of the things as far as like popcorn buckets. You could only find some merchandise that was, you could tell, had just been put out at that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock time. So that was really cool because we had been to the park earlier, and so we'd seen that those things weren't there, but they were for this event. So really, praise for Disney. When you go to Disney, you're going to have likes and dislikes. However, never ever thought that we would come back, and we drive from Virginia to Florida.
12 hours, about 12 hours.
And that takes some looking forward to. It's got to be Disney to make us get in a car and drive 11 and a half hours. And then on the way back, more so we talked about this year, we talked more about the party in the way of what happened, Disney, than we did, 8 years ago. So I think that was a great roundup. I think we pretty much exhausted the Not So Scary. I love Disney, and I love Disney for everything that they do. It has to be somebody like myself talking on the outside. I don't know all the details. Woody doesn't know all the details. But we certainly appreciated this year for what it was. And we look forward to our next trip.
Maybe we talked about it too much in 2011 and 12 to people. And that's why all the crowds are there, because everybody would hype it up, and then now we've created our own chaos. So it's our fault.
Do we have any recommendations? I'm going to ask you this because you are a visionary. As we wrap up the podcast, what could Disney do to help? What could Disney do to make you buy a Not So Scary ticket in the future?
Limit the crowd size. I don't know how.
How do they do that?
I have no clue. All these things are like, I'm Monday morning quarterbacking, but I don't. I think I know they would have a hard time doing more events because of the staff, because of the fireworks, parades. A lot goes into it. But I almost think it would be worth them capping the attendance a little bit lower, or offering other Halloween parties in other parks without the theming. Like it's more for riding the rides, and yeah, I mean, they could offer candy. I mean, that couldn't be that hard for another park, and then a special little show. But like, I mean, it'd be kind of cool if you went over to Hollywood Studios and they had like their own version of like a Hollywood Halloween, and disperse it a little bit. But just for me, everything was wonderful. except for the crowd. So just kind of limit the crowd, Disney. But that's less money. And I don't know,
And you did mention this, and I was hoping that you would touch on it, is where you mentioned, and I love the idea of a Hollywood Halloween. Like, can we just be an Imagineer right now?
How fun would that be?
Oh my gosh. Or you mentioned in the car, I remember you said Epcot offering candy.
Yes. Oh, the world can. Oh, yeah. So having a Halloween party at Epcot where each world you went to, you had a different type of candy handed out. So like you would just have like, I don't know, like, I don't even know, German chocolate,
Yes.
something where you would go to that world and you could experience their sweets by trick-or-treating and learn a little bit that way. And but like you disperse the crowd that way. Like, but I know that's more employees, more time, and I know that's just me after the fact, but I think that'd be a fun experience. If this one is selling out so much, then there's definitely a market for it. So why not, hey, we're introducing 2 Halloween parties. We're going to have it at the Hollywood, and in that way people had a choice, and it might cut down a little bit. I don't know. Like, I mean, so it's not a complaint, and it's because they do it right, is the crowd size. And that's why so many people are there. It's because it's Disney, it's wonderful. But for me, it just, I'm not in a hurry to buy another ticket to the event. Unless they open up the other parks, then I will eat my words and spend another probably $300 on the on the tickets, and then get my 5 pounds of candy and be happy.
I love that. And I'm so thankful that we had this experience. I'm so thankful that we got to go this year. And that's going to do it. That's going to do it for Woody's Roundup. I am your host, Laura Watts. And for Woody, we wish you guys a very good night, and we will catch you on the next episode.